getting right into it, I'm going to start with the Smashbox Primer Water. I have been obsessed with this stuff for this last month and a half or so, but I'm basically using this in place of moisturizer. So I'm just spritzing that all over my face, and then I'm just going to let that dry. And yes, I know it's not actually what a fan brush is for, but hey, it works. And then next, I'm going to be using the Benefit Porefessional, per usual. It's my favorite. And I only apply this primer, well, really any primer actually, but to the center of my face. And I like to let this sit for a while, so we're going to hold off on foundation. So while my primer is setting, it's the perfect time to do brows because these can take me a while. I'm going to be using the NYX Pomade. I think it's in the color Taupe, and I'm just applying this really to the middle and tail end of my brows. I'm leaving that front section out. I'm just going to kind of give them their general shape, and then I'm just using the Anastasia, however you want to say it, the Brow Wiz, and I like to kind of start at the tail end and just kind of fill it in with light strokes to look like little hairs basically. And then, like I said, I switch up my brow routine, or I can't remember if I said that or not, but I switch up my brow routine quite often, so I haven't really perfected anything yet, but I'm just using a light brow powder on the front area. That way it looks a little bit more faded in. And then next, I'm going to be taking this Urban Decay Stick Concealer. I think it's in CEO, if I remember correctly. And I just apply this kind of under the arch and above the arch of my brows. And I just use a little shader brush to kind of blend that out. I feel like this just helps kind of sharpen the brows a little bit more. And if you're not as pale as me, it might even help you highlight. So now for foundation, I'm using the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and no, I do not use this kind of full coverage foundation every day, but I am going to use a Real Techniques brush, and I'm going to spritz that Smashbox Primer Water all over that. I just wanted to show you guys that it's super liquidy, but it's super full coverage, and this stuff is like glue for your face. Oh, I love it. And plus, because I'm so pale, this stuff, actually, I don't even have to worry about it changing colors or looking funny on my neck or anything, because it's literally white like me, so it's perfect. But yeah, I'm just going to buff and blend that all over my face, and then after I am done with the Real Techniques brush, I'm actually going to go in with my beauty blender just to kind of make sure everything is really nice and blended and there's no brush strokes or anything. And then next, of course, I'm going to conceal. So I'm using the Naked Skin Concealer, and I'm just in the lightest shade of everything, guys. Just always assume it's the lightest. And I'm going to be using my Beauty Blender to blend all of that out. And then I also put a little bit on my eyelids, just kind of helps to act as a nice primer and cancels out any redness or veining. And then to set that, I'm using my all-time favorite right now, which is the Mercier, totally blanked, Secret Brightening Powder. And then to set the rest of my face, I am using her, what's it called, the translucent powder, the pressed version. It's my favorite. If I'm going out anywhere, I take it with me. I just love it. So now for the fun part, the eyes. I'm going to be using the Naked Basics and the Naked 2 palette from Urban Decay. And I'm first starting with the Naked Basics palette, and I'm using Naked 2 from this, and that's the only shadow that I'm using from the palette. And I'm just using my fluffy Sigma brush. I'm just going to use this as my transition shade, and I'm just going to take my sweet time, really building it up and blending it out. I just really like to take my time on the eyes because I want everything to be super blended and just seamless and look beautiful at the end. So that is why I am doing this. So now moving into the star of the show, the Naked 2 palette. I am first going to take the color Tease, which is a nice taupey purple shade, and I'm just going to again kind of just work with that in the crease and just build it up to the desired intensity just to start getting some of that depth. So next, on a Real Techniques brush, I am taking the color Pistol from the palette, which is just a really nice smoky gray color, and I'm just applying that to the outer half of my lid and just kind of blending upwards and towards the center a little bit. And then with that same Real Techniques brush, I'm going to take the color Busted from the palette. I'm just going to start building up right there on the outer V and just taking my time again with it. That way, it's easier to put on than it is to take away. So yeah, I'm just adding a little bit at a time, and then I'm going to very lightly blend it. And then next, I'm going to just use my fingers and apply the color Verve. I just found that it applied a lot better when using my fingertips. So I'm just going to put that right there on my inner corners and center of my lids. So then I just went back in with Pistol just to kind of blend Pistol and Verve together a little bit more on the lids. And again, just lightly blending as I go. Sorry guys, I know it probably looks like I just keep getting closer to y'all, but my camera just does this thing where it just turns off in the middle of me filming, so Sorry about that, but here I am just mixing Blackout and Busted, and the Blackout shade is just the matte one from the palette, and I just really want to deepen this up and make it a little bit more smoky. So yeah, I'm just going to keep gradually adding more of that Blackout and Busted mix to the outer V just to deepen it up, and then I'm just going to blend a little bit as I go, but I don't want to blend too much because we don't want it to look muddy. And then for my lower lash line on a pencil brush, I just mixed a little bit of Busted and Pistol just to blend below. And I did want to use just a little bit of liner, but I'm not going to do any kind of crazy cat eye. I'm just going to do a nice thin line on the upper lash line with the Maybeline Master Precise Liner. This stuff is my favorite. So I went ahead and curled my lashes, and now I'm just going to apply a nice light coat of the Benefit Roller Lash to my top and bottom lashes. And then after I've finished up just applying a nice light coat, I'm going to be using the Younique mascara, and this stuff is seriously my favorite. Like, I don't wear false lashes because of this stuff. I'm obsessed with it. This is the original one, by the way. So yeah, I'm just applying the gel, some fibers, and then the gel again, and you can do this however many times until you get your desired look. I think I did mine for like 3 or 4 times. The eyeshadow was kind of dramatic, so I wanted to make my lashes pop, but look at that difference. So now to my favorite part, which is the face, and I'm going to start by contouring, and I'm using the NYX HD blush in Taupe. This stuff is seriously amazing for contouring. I highly recommend anybody pick it up. And I am using an e.l.f. small stippling brush. I just like to draw like a nice line, and then I just like to do like little circling motions to blend it upwards. Of course, you don't want to blend it down. And then I just wanted to show you guys a quick little difference it makes, like contouring can make in your face. And then of course, I'm just going to do the exact same thing to the other side. It probably seems like I'm doing this kind of backwards, but next I'm going to be bronzing, and I'm just using my Stila. I think it was the bronze that came out with their summer collection. It's the second one. I think it's like the medium shade, and I'm just using that to go over that contour and just bronze up along my temples onto the side of my forehead, and then as well as under my jawline, and just blending down my neck. Always making sure to blend, blend, blend. So next for cheeks, I'm going to be using my absolute favorite blush right now, which is Dallas by Benefit. It's like a dusty rose kind of bronzy shade. Honestly, I think everybody should have this blush. It is perfect because it's just the easiest way to fake that like sun-kissed glow. And I just basically start at the apples of my cheeks and blend back, and then whatever's left on my brush, I just run along my forehead. And you know I cannot forget about highlighting, so I'm going to be using Moonstone by Becca, and I just, oh my gosh, I put this like everywhere basically on my face. So I put this on my cheekbones. I like to run just a little bit of it down the bridge of my nose. I always highlight my brow bone with it, and then I also like to put a little bit on my inner corners as well. And then lastly, I will just typically put a little bit right on my cupid's bow. And then lastly for lips, I'm not kidding you, I've been wearing this lip color for like every day for a week. I'm not even joking. This is the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in Requiem. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But I've been obsessed with this like cool toned like purpley shade, and it's super low maintenance because it stays on like nobody's business, but I just think it really makes my eyes pop. And that is actually it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. And please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you guys would like to see more of these videos. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.